Hey y'all, it's Ash. Today I'm going to be talking about how I got my CALI'd awards in law school. If you don't know what a CALI'd award is, it essentially means you got the highest score in the class, like the whole class. So for my school, that means I was the only person in the class who got an A+. So my first CALI'd award was in Torts 1, and I think how I got this was, first of all, I was terrified I was going to fail out, and I was also expecting to get straight C's because that's what I had been told going into law school. They try to scare you. The average grade is a C for my particular program. Very few people get A's and B's. You have to be like ahead of the curve, right? But most people get C's in the particular program I was in. And only one person gets an A+, and that person gets the CALI'd award, right? So yeah, so that was a little rough, but I went in there with that anxious mindset and worked really hard. And then also I was kind of forced, because that was my first semester of law school, to be in a student group with an older student who'd already taken the class. And I had to do one-on-one meetings with him, and I also had to do group meetings with him, and he would share, his outlines, his attack outlines, tell us how to make outlines and attack outlines, and then tell us exam sentences. And I mean, obviously I made my own, but I, copied his pretty well. And I do sell my outlines that I made and my attack outlines and exam sentences. Sometimes they come in a bundle, sometimes they don't. But I sell my outlines by themselves on Amazon, and then I sell bundles of stuff on Etsy. You should be able to find it. If I forget to link it below, I will try to remember to link it below. But it's called Ash's Outlines. It's under my maiden name, so it's going to be either Ash Williams or Ashley Williams. But if you search Ash's Outlines on Etsy and or Amazon, you should be able to find them. But again, I'll try to remember to link it below. I don't know if I'll remember. But anyways, moving on. My whole time in law school, I got 3 C's total, mostly A's and B's, so I was almost always ahead of the curve. And those C's that I got were the summer I met my husband and the summer I got engaged, and kind of just focus more on him. And I was also taking con law, and I was struggling with it. And if you get below a C or a C+, I think, in con law for my program, you have to take a remedial class. So I was more focused on that class because I didn't want to take remedial classes. So yeah. But that's how I got, the C's. But I don't think I published the ones that I got C's in. The 2 classes that first summer I didn't do outlines, so maybe that's why I got a C. But the third one I did do an outline for. I got a C+. But yeah. It was, I don't know if I posted that one. Hopefully I didn't, because I don't know that's good. But, anyways, moving on. So yeah, my first tip would be to definitely ask people for their outlines, their attack outlines, their exam sentences, whatever they have. I went and found CALI'd award winners at my school within the past year or two. I'd find them on LinkedIn or Facebook, and then I'd message them and say, hey, I'm taking this class. Any advice, any materials you'd be willing to share with me? And usually they did. I think almost always they did. So definitely reach out to people at your school who've won CALI'd awards or who have taken the class and done really well. They're usually willing to help you. I know I would absolutely meet with somebody who was taking the same class at the same school I was at, and I would absolutely give them advice if I could, So that's a big thing. Just reach out to past CALI'd award winners or older students and get advice and materials from them. Contracts 1 was at the end of my first year, and that was my second CALI'd award. And even though I was at or above the curve, I was scared I was going to fail because it's so hard the first time you learn it. I think now I'm oh, it's not that bad. But when I was first learning it, I was oh my gosh, this is so bad. I did not understand. So I studied really hard for that one too, because I thought I was going to fail. But then my third CALI'd award was my last semester of law school. And this is one where I can really give advice on how to get good grades, because this last semester of law school, I realized that you can get honors in law school. I didn't realize that until my second to last semester of law school, and I was right on the brink, and I was like, okay, I've got to actually work hard this semester to try to get honors. So what I would do, I had 4 classes. I won't go into what I did for every one of them, because one of them was trial practice and one of them was bar prep, and it was kind of different for those two, like what I did to do well in those classes. But criminal procedure and then family law, which family law was the one I got a CALI'd award in. Criminal procedure I got the second highest grade in the class for, which is still good, but I didn't CALI'd it. So, and this is about CALI'd, so that's what we're going to talk about. But for those 2 classes, I did hybrid online and in-person. For this semester, we did not have any in-person classes. It was all online. We would have them once a week, and it was about 2 hours a week. So I would sign into the class, and then during the class, I would take paper notes. So paper and pen, right? Take paper notes the entire class, because it's so easy on online classes, even maybe in in-person classes, to like drift off or scroll or go like online shopping. And I did that a lot in school, and I probably could have done a lot better had I done this method instead of like goofing off the entire class, right? But anyways, what I would do is that entire 2 hours, I would listen really intently and make notes in my, my notepad or my piece of paper, whatever it was. As soon as class was over, I would open up my Word doc, which is where I would keep my like outlines. This is what I did, like the Word docs is what I did the entire time in law schools. I'd always have one Word doc for the whole class, and then I'd do an attack outline at the end of the class, and then maybe like exam sentences or whatever. So I would open up my digital outline, and I would write in my outline, my digital outline, when I was reading, right? And I would have concepts. This is a concept, this is a concept, this is a concept, and then cases. This is the case, this is what it's about. Sometimes I do mini case briefs, whatever, right? And it's really easy if you know a professor doesn't cold call to not pay attention, and neither of these professors cold called. So that's also why I did that, because I had one class, which was intellectual property law, where our professor cold called, and she stuck on you. I love her to death. I still keep in touch with her, but oh my gosh, I was terrified. My heart would race so bad every time she would call on me, and it was easy. I got the second highest score in that class as well, because I was so terrified and I was paying attention the whole time. But you need to make sure you're paying attention for the entirety of the class, right? Whether that's panicking over a cold call or taking paper notes, right? Or both, which I did in intellectual property law. I did both to try to keep myself on and remember things. Definitely do case briefs. They don't have to be long. I know people say after the first semester, first year, they stop outlining, they stop briefing. I never stopped. I was too anxious. Definitely recommend doing that. So, yeah, paper notes, and then as soon as the class is over, close out of it or go back to your room, whatever you need to do, right? Go to study hall. I don't know, whatever your situation is, figure out how to do it. Do it at the end of the day if you need to. Copy those paper notes onto a digital notebook or Word doc, whatever it is, right? That way you're refreshing twice. And then you're also taking notes while you're reading. So you're going through the concepts like 3 or 4 times, right? So you're really getting that into your brain. Also do practice questions. I would do attack outlines. I would make them, and then I would try to memorize them and write them down in a separate Word document for memory. And they don't have to be long. So let me see if I can remember torts. I used to always remember it, but I just took the bar a few months ago. I should know this, but it's what? Intentional contact with the person of another, right? I think that's it. Harmful or offensive too. So just you have little bullet points like that, and then you try to copy it onto another piece of paper from memory, right? And then maybe try to write mock exams, write sentences you would actually write if you had whatever problem. Do practice questions, multiple choice, essay, whatever it is. I also like to watch explanation videos on YouTube. That was really helpful. So yeah, I think that's really all I have. Just talk to older students, talk to past CALI'd award winners, get their advice, get their materials, whatever that is. Take notes while reading. Don't stop outlining, don't stop case briefing. Take notes during class or panic or both, right? And then copy those paper notes onto your digital notes. And then do attack outlines, practice those attack outlines, do practice essays, do practice multiple choice. that's all I really have for y'all. I know that was kind of like long and that wasn't like a lot of advice. I just explained a lot of it, but thank y'all for watching. I hope this does help. Again, if you need to see my outlines or if you want to see my outlines, it's Ash's Outlines, maybe under Ash Williams on Amazon and Etsy. We'll try to remember to link them below. If not, they're linked to my channel. All right, thank y'all for watching. Bye.